All right. The next talk is so this is a Dapps critic. So come really hard. Be really critical here because so Cretter is something I worked on. So just like a backstory. So I was working on a meme trading platform. So like people trading memes. So like if you make money, you're making money from another user. Like, you know, there's nothing productive out of this. It's just like you speculating, and if you're better at speculating, then you take or somebody's money, or if you form a gang, you can like take somebody else's money with like coordinated attacks and things like that. So after that, there was like a very serious congestion problem where if a user wanted to create a meme, it took like 2 days because the meme itself is like its own contract. The image is saved in on IPFS, but the main thing, like the contract, was just a little bit heavy. So like I think miners were not picking up those things. So like it ends up like you have two options: like pay really expensive fee, or just wait for 2 days. And that was not good. So after that, I kind of got depressed, or like not depressed, but like a little bit demotivated. I'm like, okay, like this is not gonna work. I'm gonna work on a Web 2 thing, and I went to Vietnam, thought hard, and I was like, okay, there's no solution for critical thinking and arguments on the internet. Let me give it a crack because, like, you know, I have nothing to lose. So okay, so I did. So after some thinking, I was like, okay, on the internet, if you have a discussion going on, people can reply in any other ways, and you kind of keep track of the discussion. So I was like, okay, like if I'm building anything, like the structure is going to be really authoritative. Like you can only have one way of discussing. There is no reply, retweeting, and all this complex thing because like people can evade, you know, when they lost or like do some other tricks. So in a little bit, I'll show the Web 2 version because I haven't built the Web 3, like the Dapps version yet. So tonight is like the moment where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna decide more. I'm still like thinking, okay, like should I really like build this, you know, as a Dapps? But like right now, it's like a shitty Web 2 website, but it's good and it works.
You can evaluate the concept, right?
Yeah, you can evaluate the concept and see like if this is completely ludicrous and gonna waste like, I don't know, like 3 months of my time or like 2 months of my time. So we'll see. So I'll just explain the concept first. So the way it works is that, or my hypothesis, like all debates, you can come from, you can only have like 3 things: statements, questions, then answers. Now, in the authoritative part, or like the very constraining part, is like from a statement you can only have a bunch of questions, and for each questions you can only have one answer. And based from that answer,
And that comes from the same person who started the statement, right?
yeah, so only the person who issued that statement can answer your question. So like if you view it as like a tree with like, you have like one trunk here, you have the questions here, and then you have the answers here. But it's only like one line. There's no interaction between the things. So like you have statement, questioners, answers, and the stater here is providing the answer. And then afterwards you have the ranking. So the ranking is like any user on the internet, they decide unique user, like when you can't vote twice. So here it will be like just figuring out like the Ether address, but we'll get into that. They will decide, is this rational or is this irrational, or this guy has like a bias and not telling the truth. So the hypothesis here, you post a statement based on how much you believe something is true. So like let's say you believe that I'll take like a very easy example, not a complex example. So let's say you truly believe from where you're from and things like that, that I'll give you an example. I just think about it, I'm like, this is so fucking ridiculous, but whatever. So let's say, you believe that we pee because of gravity, right? So somebody writes that. Somebody who's really good at debating or like trying to invalidate your statement would be like, well, could anybody pee while doing a handstand or like standing completely reverse, right? So that would be a very good invalidating statement, because like they have to prove actually that if you were against, if your direction of being is against gravity, then you wouldn't be able to be, and that's very hard to demonstrate. So that person, will likely lose in those questions, and people would take the money. So here the Web 2 version I'll show you, but here the Web 3 version is like, okay.
You said money.
Yeah.
That part you didn't explain yet.
Yeah.
So somebody puts a certain amount of money behind their statement, and then puts money behind the questions and the answers. How does that go?
Sure. So let me see. Let me just explain it from here, from an example. So let's say that guy, truly believes that. So he puts $100 on that statement. Now, all of the questioners, right? You can be anybody on the internet. If you really think that you have a shot at like killing this, like, well, you could think of any idea as like a virus or something that you have to like really battle test to see if it's true. So the users are motivated of like, okay, like there's money in this statement, I want to get some of that. Now, the more risk-taking you are in your question, like how much money, so the idea is like, if there's $100 on the statement and you're ready to, you feel really confident about your question, you can go from $1 to $10 or whatever, like as long as like half of the contract and minus 10% for like the rankers, whatever. So the earlier you are asking the question and the more aggressive you are, so let's say putting $10 on your question, there's two ways you can go. You can either lose by, and you lose by like this, the guy who made this statement providing a very good answer and people favor that, then you would lose your $10, and the $10 goes back to this bank, like the statement bank. So basically you would have $100 plus $10. But then if the questioner really kills the statement on that one, and people, like this guy comes up with an answer that is no good, then this guy gets $20 instead of that. Instead of losing the $10. So like you win double. And then the rankers, get paid first, because like either way, like the rankers here are motivated to rank early, because like the earlier you rank, the more. So let's say the algorithm could be just as simply as like the first 3 or 5 people who knew the right answer and who voted first get paid or something like that. This part I haven't really figured out. So like I mainly thought of like the statement part and the questioner's part. Are we on the same page or are we all over the place?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I thought about it before. We talked about it before. So.
Yeah. So here you have the stater, the questioner. The questioner, if he wins, gets so okay. Let's say the questioner wins. 2x of the questioner's stake, or like $10. So $20 goes to him, and then 10% of the questioner's thing goes to the rankers. So basically, the bank decreased by $20 minus 10% of $10, I think. So like, so people are motivated to if it is a weak statement, to really like quickly draw all that money in, because like they'll be like, well, this is a fool with a lot of money, we'll just take all the money.
Yeah. I
So,
think it's clever. Cool.
Yeah. So, and the other case is the questioner. If they lost, 90% goes to So it actually, so if the questioner loses here, you actually fund the statement for more people, you know, to be like, wow, now there's a lot more money. I'm smarter than all these, you know. I'll like bet 20 or 40 to get 80, something like that. And then, you know, the rankers, whatever happens, get paid still. And then afterwards, so here's the general truth and like the expansion or like the long-term dynamics of the contract. You know, let's say on a very high level is like if you're, let's say, in accordance to truth, then the bank of that statement keeps on growing because people keep trying to ask you questions, but they lose. So the bank keeps getting bigger. So actually, like after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever, based on one parameter, you can actually like draw the bank back and like win more money if you like have like some very ground, like some really deep truths, and like you can back that up basically. You know, that you can back up whatever you tell.
Can people change their minds?
Change their minds.
Rankers?
The rankers?
Yeah.
Like, so let's say you vote and then afterwards you change your vote.
Yeah. So like if let's say you make a false statement saying that the world is flat, and then you get 5 people who go, yeah, and it's like, yeah, and then they all say the world is flat, and then they say watch the YouTube documentary or watch some YouTube documentaries, educate yourself, and then a bunch of other people pile in and they go, no, that's all false. Can the people who educated themselves and realize the truth that the world isn't flat, can they change their minds, or are they stuck with those positions?
I think they're stuck. So if you vote, you're stuck with your vote, I think.
Yeah, it seems reasonable to expect that you would only press that button if you actually believe it. You know, and after that, you should be committed to your position for the ranking to be effective and for fools to lose their money and truthful people to keep it. So,
but then, like, if you don't allow people to change their votes, then you can solidify a pretty tactical strategy. Because if people can't change their minds, and you know that you don't have, and if you know you have enough people to overwhelm them, and they can't change it, regardless of the actual truth, then you can totally destroy the truth with this, at least in this world.
Yeah. So actually, we're definitely getting to that. So like all games, you could, like, if you have a gang, you can game it. But then, you know, we'll talk about one God functionality that I had on my meme dapps, but we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Just in a little bit. Ideally, so let's say, you know, you have a false statement, like let's say, you know, you pee because of gravity. What's happening is, like, you know, you have like $100 beginning, and then very quickly it collapses basically because like people keep on asking you questions and waiting, so they draw all the money from out of the thing, and then you're left with nothing. So the concept here, the high level concept, is like whatever is true persists and like grows, and whatever is a lie collapses.